So you keep walking a lot barefoot, you get better at it. So what you want is, you want an active lifestyle, you want to move, and you want to do so consciously. Consciously.
So what if you loved movement so much that you devote your life to figuring out how your movement looks like? So I never said I wanted to do yoga. I just started doing it. So we speak through actions. Words are just like the cherry on top of the cake. Because it's the surface. So a cake may look nice on the outside and maybe rotten on the inside. And if the core is rotten, the apple may taste like mold. So you have to do your inner cleansing. And that's sadhana. So stop worshipping your body. I do this because it helps my spirit to thrive. So one thing is good. Try eating like this. So yeah, yoga is good, all these physical things, but this is also important. In this kind of world, this is important. Why is this important? Because if you're a being of mind and the outside world is trying to corrupt the inside world, then this I can use to bring order. to train my mind to also see differences. I know I can do this. I know I can do this. You know, a leopard is my teacher. You know, a monkey is my teacher. If I look at what we call humans, then what I see is, it's just like a feature. You know, it's just like the human thinks it's the cherry, right? The human told itself, I'm the cherry, but you're not the cherry, you know? And the cherry isn't the best thing of the cake. You know, we say the cherry on top of the cake, but what's the cherry without the cake? It's nothing. So the cherry is a part of the whole thing. So if the human was the cherry, then it forgot its place. Because there is no top. Because if you mirror a cake with a cherry, then up is down. Because you always have to see both sides. You think you're on top now because you've created science, but you're digging a hole. And that's what you're trying to crawl out of. So any method is welcome. So I've been honing my mind, and there were times where I had to do less physical workout and do more mind workout. And this is what you cannot, right? It's not predictable. It's not like I know, oh yeah, exactly, now I'm gonna, you know, it's just gonna happen. I'm just gonna feel drawn into certain methods. In that sense, I have no physical teachers, but there are certain people where I could say we have trained each other. Like they've shown me, in a certain sense, how I'm also different, but not in a sense different better, just more appealing to me. You know what I'm saying, right? So if you walk around and you meet other beings, then you may be a leopard, but maybe they're like geese. So we're all different, and that's what I truly believe, because I have looked at the choices that I've made, and they're clearly different from a lot of other people. But to me, these choices were unavoidable, because when you get to a certain understanding about what is happening in your life, and you realize that there are certain things that are unmaintainable if you wish to continue for or stay for the long ride, such as psychedelics, then you just stop. And maybe you were guided to stop because you met people that stopped or that could go without, and you suddenly simply start seeing it as a challenge. To simply stop yourself. And there are certain things I had to stop myself from doing, and yet there are other things that I encourage myself to do more. Now this algorithm that I'm using may be more complicated, maybe a less direct route to finishing the Rubik's Cube, a less direct route, but it's a method that came to me because I forgot one step. One algorithm just vanished, and then I kept fiddling around, and I found this new algorithm for the last part where you've got the top, you've got the bottom, and you've got the two lower lines. and now you want to complete this one. And I think this is also the phase of my own life where I'm fairly stable, but there are still certain things that I feel like I need to do. I mean, I feel really tough, I feel really hard, but I feel like the life is seeping out of me. How can I explain this to you? You know, all the time I feel like, you know, something is putting a knife here and I'm bleeding out into my art. Why do I feel like this? Well, that's hard to say. So I simply forgot this one algorithm, but I said, okay, I'm not gonna look it up. I am going to find a way through. So sometimes, okay, now I managed to get through this phase, and now I have to put the red to the red, and then and now you have a certain algorithm that goes like this. Then you do it twice in a certain way, and then it's done. So sometimes you see methods and you keep doing methods, and suddenly you realize how these methods begin to intertwine. So maybe I've been sharpening my sword, which for a man is also his penis, but also his mind. So I've been sharpening it and practicing semen retention, and I'm practicing yoga flow and letting go of thinking. Well, what's the next phase? Well, maybe that's then being together with a woman. And maybe it's gonna be, I'm just gonna be alone for the rest of my life. So there's a lot of misunderstandings. You know, if I see that you've got too much light, I'm gonna attack your shadow. I am going to go into your light and I'm going to find the shadow, you know, take your shadow and say, protect him, protect her. Why do I say this? Well, I say this because your light is going to be harvested unless you learn how to protect yourself, and that's why there's kshatric energy in everyone. There's a kshatriya in everyone, but not everyone will survive. So your spirit needs to be strengthened so you go into nature. But it's your challenge. I am not going to do this for you. You have to actively participate. So let's see. I'm looking for actions. So I've asked someone to join me on a 30-kilometer hike today, and we'll see if he's going to be present. I hope so, because I actually like him. He's a strong spirit, a strong guy, you know, somebody we need for stability. He's still relatively young, but he's learning fast. But he's prone to skipping class. So it's hard to teach him, but let's see, right? Let's see. Right? If this hurts, then you're too weak. But don't do this unless you've already done your strengthening. So how about coffee? I don't know. I feel like the high you get from coffee draws too much strength. But Who's to say, right? Who's to say? Maybe it's something that can kick you into the day, but never drink coffee every day. It's better to skip some days.